February 15th, 2022. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Are we in the midst of a run-up to war in Ukraine, or just another round of global posturing? Russian President Vladimir Putin has given one of the first signs he's considering easing back from a massive military buildup around Ukraine, but the Biden administration remains highly skeptical. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov told Putin at what appeared to be an orchestrated for-television meeting that Russia would benefit from more talks with the U.S. and its allies. Guy Taylor reports the Kremlin has sought guarantees that NATO won't allow any other former Soviet countries to become alliance members. It also wants NATO to halt weapons deployments to Ukraine and roll back its forces from Eastern Europe. NATO has flatly rejected those demands. The role of White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan in promoting false claims that Donald Trump had links to a Russian bank is coming under increased scrutiny. Dave Boyer and Susan Ferricchio report Department of Justice Special Counsel John Durham's court filing late last week renewed speculation that the special counsel could soon put a spotlight on Sullivan. Sullivan was a top foreign policy advisor to Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign in 2016 when he publicized information on a supposed Trump connection to a Russian bank. The FBI concluded in February 2017 that there was no back channel between Trump and Alfa Bank, Russia's largest commercial lender. Democrats say the accusations are just more reckless attacks. Clinton is scheduled to be a keynote speaker at the New York State Democratic Party's annual nominating convention in New York City this week, amid chatter among some Democrats that she might make a comeback. A spokeswoman for Sullivan at the National Security Council didn't respond to a request for comment, and White House Deputy Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre refused to answer questions about Durham's filing. A reminder that you can find all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. If you don't have access to the Times yet, you can visit WashingtonTimes.com/George for a special subscription offer. Scientists are working feverishly to develop the next generation of coronavirus vaccines, including a nasal spray. Tom Howe reports multiple teams are focused on a spray or vaccine that could tamp down transmission of the virus by attacking membranes in the nose, where infection typically begins. It's unclear how long it would take to get a spray to market, but Connecticut-based Xanadu Bio says the 1 to 2 year timeline under which existing COVID-19 vaccine makers are operating is a reasonable estimate. Meanwhile, the U.S. Army is steeped in trials of a vaccine that uses a soccer ball-shaped protein to test against spikes of multiple coronavirus strains. Researchers hope the Army vaccine is nimble enough to protect against multiple variants, as well as the original virus. And finally, at least 130 congregations have quietly walked away from the United Methodist Church in a divide over the denomination's planned acceptance of same-sex marriage and homosexual clergy. Mark Kellner reports the church's governing body is expected to approve a separation plan this year that would create two denominations, one affirming bans on gay clergy and same-sex marriage, and one permitting homosexual clergy and same-sex marriage. That move has been postponed because of the pandemic and might be delayed again. The denomination, formed in 1968 by a merger of the Evangelical United Brethren Church and the Methodist Church, is the second largest Protestant denomination in the United States after the Southern Baptist Convention. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us on your favorite podcast platforms. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WashTimes for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.